Hello everybody, Waffle Time here. As you all more than likely know by now, Terraria's very own Zenith is a weapon that slaps harder than California renting costs. This weapon is capable of shredding bosses in mere seconds, but if one were to try and obtain it in an average vanilla Terraria playthrough, they would certainly have their work cut out for them. As the Zenith is comprised of a crafting tree that could quite literally make you age by 45 years in the span of 3 days. What we're going to be doing today is slightly different than our average run-of-the-mill Waffle Time video experience. We will be playing through vanilla Terraria with our goal being to get the Zenith while only using the weapons of which it is comprised. We plan on exploring the various 1.4.4 sword changes, and see just how many Terraria mob rumpuses we can slap around with them. What will happen? How will we feel? Will we be able to stand meleeing bosses that are equipped with lasers and explosives, or will we get crippling ED, resulting in treacherous marital disputes down the line? Truly, there's only one way to find out. Before we jump in, I want to clarify that I am playing with no mods on the latest version of vanilla Terraria. Also, as far as rules go, we can use any weapon that is in the Zenith crafting tree, including the weapons used to craft the weapons in the direct Zenith crafting formula. The entire crafting tree is at our disposal. The last and final rule is that we beat this playthrough when we have our very own handcrafted Zenith in our own hands. With all that being said, let's jump right in, shall we? We start this playthrough as any true pro gamer would by chopping trees and clearing land clearly, visibly, and proudly taking part in deforestation for our own profit. What is with all of these stupid nature scenes and stupid little trees in the world anyways? There should be Walmarts, freeway access, gas stations, and suburbs with identical housing in there. These trees are simply wasting space and profit. We quickly make a cool, unique base and a suburban NPC housing unit in place of the nature we justly destroyed, then begin work on our elevator. What is the ground of the earth for, if not for the drilling and exploitation of its natural resources? We collect ores and loot we see along the way, including silver, iron, and our first life crystal. This is when we discover one of our first true enemies, a fucking spider that has literally twice as much health as we have. Little does he know, we click faster than Twitter users get mad at Mr. Beast for doing something kind, benevolent, and giving. How dare he do a kind act for people with no benefit to himself whatsoever? Where does he get off? It takes 50 seconds to kill this single spider. 50 seconds. 50 seconds of our lives that we will never get back. Wonderful. Fantastic. I am ecstatic. We quickly go back up and run to the left. It's here that it's revealed to us that we are in fact in a corruption world. Oh, how could I tell, you ask? We instead run to the right in order to collect some cacti for cactus armor when the funniest demon eye of all time sees us and tells us his jokes. Oh, Ohio Riz. Riz hitting the this menace is hitting the gritty in Terraria, Ohio. His original, witty, and downright hilarious retorts to us simply walking make us laugh so unbelievably hard that my microphone didn't even register it, and we inevitably die. Here is what the mic picked up. Alright, we are sent back to base unwillingly and make some cactus armor, but don't have enough for pants, so we simply just let it all hang out in the breeze. And yes, it is freezing, I swear, it's just cold. Trust me, just trust me. We run back and look for some compensating loot in a chest we find, which includes some climbing claws. We also find a blowpipe, which will look absolutely amazing while it's being sold for 2 cents to the merchant. Another chest. Excellent. More climbing claws. Excellent. Aglet. Fucking excellent. What a wild swing of emotions. I have no control of them now whatsoever, and I'm gonna freak out at the smallest inconvenience that occurs in my life. Nightmare. Boomerang hell nightmare flashback. Shell shock. Screaming. Wall of flesh. Run. Run. We get back home after our crippling boomerang shell shock war flashback episode, then make a bitchin' little chest room addition to our house in order to store all of our items away. We also take the time to make a silver pickaxe to hopefully earn back the 50 seconds of our lives that were wasted poking a goddamn motherfucking spider with a stick. Earlier on in this playthrough, we expand our suburban housing deeper into the forest with no regard for the nature we're disturbing, as we should. Our suburb remains identical and non-unique to each other, as they rightfully should be. I'm thinking we should charge approximately $7,800 a month to live in one of these bad boys. It is right next to an 18-lane freeway after all, so it's a win-win for our stupid little renters. We could charge $9,200 for single mothers with 4 kids though, landlord gang style. We begin digging more down our elevator and see our sweet demolitionist has finally moved in. He invites us to a party that is supposedly the bomb. Funny, I get it, but we decline. That's right. While you were all out smoking your little devil's lettuce and talking with women and or men, I was in my room, alone, grinding, crying, not drinking water, and not getting up to change my underwear, unlike you losers who were socializing and making friends. We use the bombs we bought from the demolitionist and get straight to work going down our elevator. Die instantly to a jellyfish that can do an unreasonable amount of damage. Then respawn on, contemplate on our existence and why we must endure seemingly eternal torment in the form of mobs doing over half the amount of health we have in damage. Then go down our elevator even more. Through our endless episodes of Existential Dread, we find ourselves in a wacky, dare I say, downright warpy mushroom biome. How exciting. What a lovely spore bat. Certainly he won't eat my eyes out and replace them with his own nards. Excellent. After going back and exacting our revenge on Mushroom Batman, we collect the ores in the mushroom biome, sufficiently stocking up on more ores, and sufficiently stocking up on more deaths to be mildly inconvenienced and unreasonably upset about. God damn it. God damn it. As we take on a strange little crab guy, it is becoming increasingly apparent to me that we will not, cannot, and most certainly won't be able to get anything done in this world with a pathetic, measly copper short sword. It is impossible. We can't defend ourselves from anything in the goddamn galaxy, let alone a rabies-infested cave bat. What the fuck am I to do? I can't do anything! I can't! I'm sick, and I'm tired of these motherfucking— Before we can think ourselves to death, we collect some more ores, as well as some shoe spikes, and finally some beautiful, beautiful Hermes boots. Our 48,000 deaths have slightly paid off because now we can run like Supersonic, or Glide, whatever that little fucker does in his free time. We finish up our underground adventure for now by mining up more ores that are visible to the naked eye, then head up to make 2/3 of a set of silver armor. This way, we die in 2 hits, maybe still 1, but as long as there's a shot we take an inkling of an amount less damage than we traditionally do, then sign me the fuck up. I am so sick of dying and we're barely starting. We also make a platinum pickaxe to mine a smidge faster, as well as more crafting stations to craft shit up at, and a comfortable bed to have crippling night terrors in, about the merciless, disgusting, vile abominations we've encountered. What we desperately, and I mean desperately, need at this current point in time is any other weapon than this copper short sword, which hits enemies in a manner equivalent to that of a 30-year-old Twitter connoisseur who still lives at home with their parents. It simply doesn't work. We sprint all the way to the left in hopes of encountering an enchanted sword shrine to no avail. We find that we're greeted with the same courtesy on the right side of our world. We have no sword shrine in sight, no chance of ever interacting with a woman, no money, no life, no future, but keep exploring in hopes of maybe finding one. We instead find a band of regeneration, which is nice, but doesn't solve our crippling lack of a decent weapon that'll help us not be slaughtered 6,000 times in a row. We do as anyone would do in this situation and build a rope up to skyscraper heights and jump off it 7 times in a row. This one's for all the teachers and old folk who said I wouldn't make it. You were right. No, you silly little rascals. We aren't plummeting to our death because we can't find a weapon. We're simply making a lovely graveyard biome in order to make this sick-ass shovel. That's right. We spend what feels to be the next 8 purgatory sentences of our lives digging around in order to hopefully find an enchanted sword shrine. Again, to absolutely no avail. So not only did we willingly plunge to our demise several times in order to make a shovel, but we got absolutely fucking nothing from it. Wonderful. We bombed down our elevator in order to gather as much loot and as many ores as possible. Like these extra Hermes boots. Cool, I guess. Or perhaps like this cloud in a bottle. Hell yeah, I think. In a final and desperate attempt to get the living hell away from this copper short sword, we drink a gravitation potion that we found in the caverns and take to the skies in order to hopefully find ourselves a Star Fury. On our first island we encounter, we not only find ourselves a harpy that pursues us harder than the IRS when I inform them that I am not in fact avoiding taxes, I'm just not fucking doing them. But we also find ourselves a lucky horseshoe. Our next island gives us a shiny red balloon. We see this, take it, and leave immediately, as we want to leave no shred of a chance of a clown coming out of the Sky Island sewers and taking a slight, maybe tiny nibble of our entire arm off of our fucking bodies. We will not be feeding Terraria Pennywise today. We find a big pool of water. Awesome! We can look at this and stuff, I guess. How exciting! Thirsty? Fly to the fucking moon and drink sky water. We needed this. Oh yes, we did. On our final island, our gamer angst is slightly cured when we find a beautiful, gorgeous Star Fury that we can rightfully use within the premise of this playthrough. The Star Fury is beautiful on multiple accords. Traffic on the way to your college classes, rain stars down on every single car in your way and simply drive over them. Working fast food service and an old woman is screaming at you because you didn't make her meal free because her second cousin was in the military at one point in time. Rain stars down from the heavens onto her tremendous, entitled, blemish-ridden forehead. It's just lovely, isn't it? No more godforsaken, silly mode-ass copper short sword holding us down any longer. We pillage the underground jungle in hopes of finding some good accessories for the battles to come. We find a radar. That'll help. Yeah. We find an anklet of the wind. Tight. Yeah. Green, yellow, green, whatever, man. Just keep bringing me that. We're gonna slaughter a lot of bosses together. We find a boomstick. Our excitement is gone. We find another boomstick. Great. We find a mediocre staff of regrowth, then a sleek and sexy set of feral claws. We go through every stage of grief, then every stage of happiness in a tantalizing yet short amount of time, making us lose all grasp of how we feel entirely. A jungle spike goes directly through our anus and sends us back home, where we begin setting up our Eye of Cthulhu arena, consisting of a single row of platforms and some campfires for a slight buff to our healing. Before we jump right into battle, however, we need to make a quick trip to the underground jungle, absolutely slaughtering every source of life we can find in there, with absolutely no regard to potentially collapsing several lush ecosystems that probably give us oxygen, as the less oxygen there is, the better chance we have of monopolizing it and making a ton of money. With this being said, we collect every component we need down here in order to make the Blade of Grass, which is not only another Zenith component we needed, but also, as you may know, upon hitting our enemies, inflicts a very confusing debuff on them, which makes them think perineum sunning actually has benefits. So not only will their chocolate love tunnels probably get sunburned, but they'll also be ridiculed on Facebook by their friends and family, and we need to do that type of damage to our enemies. We sleep the rain away so we can actually fucking see, grab our weapons, what little potions we have, and head up to battle the Eye of Cthulhu. For the first phase, we test out our weaponry and see that it's most beneficial when we use the Blade of Grass, aka the Perineum Sunner, to inflict poison damage on the eye, as well as to void the tiny eyeball minions, and use the Star Fury to really slap around a big ass eyeball while it's poisoned. With this system in place, we quickly make it through to the second phase, and using the same system, make it into his absolutely fucking deranged third phase, where the eye gets his first headset for the Xbox 360 and says the most career-crippling, jaw-dropping, diabolical statements ever said in existence in our Modern Warfare 2 lobby. We seal the deal quickly by describing how we have in fact, and will again, intercourse his mother all night. With no retort, the eye quickly explodes to avoid further humiliation, and we bask in our victory and spoils. Feels good. Feels great. Because now we have ourselves a Shield of Cthulhu, which as you all know is an absolute fucking game changer, and it's gonna stay equipped until we're ready to face the Moonlord. We make Demonite bars with the Demonite ore the Eye of Cthulhu dropped, then go on to make yet another Zenith component, the Light's Bane. However, this weapon is immediately going to be collecting several layers of dust on the decoration mantle, as we aren't going to be using it one goddamn bit until we're ready to craft the Night's Edge. We go on to make several sets of NPC housing, so we eventually no longer have to run all the way across our world like a silly little pre-1.4 peasant. We then whip up a quick lava pyramid scheme to rope the pirates and goblins into. It's simple. They pay us 20 gold to join our cause. We promise them a 50 gold reward for roping 10 more goblins or pirates into our lava pyramid scheme. The result? Profit. Easy? Hell yeah, it's easy. Illegal? Most definitely. We begin our arena construction for the Eater of Worlds boss battle, Eater from Hell. We proceed with our arena construction for Eater from Hell. We try it, Eater from Hell, Eater from Hell, Worm from Hell, Eater from Hell, Eater from Hell, Eater from Hell. After seemingly several hours of not being able to get shit done around here, we have completed our arena. Thank fuck. We make a small garden to harvest plants for our potions, then promptly put our pyramid scheme into action when disease-ridden goblins decide to invade our homestead, attempting to ugly bastard every single one of our NPCs. This is something we absolutely will not stand for, so we hide in our lava pyramid scheme, swing our Star Fury to rain stars down on every one of these little fuckers that learned how to cast spells at some point in their miserable green lives. After this, we launch ourselves into the underground with a shot of Spelunker in our systems, in order to gather up as many life crystals as possible, so we have max health for the battles to come. We also find a goblin stinkerer bound in a cave who was at one point watching his wife with her boyfriend, but was long forgotten in the cave after that ordeal came to an explosion of a conclusion. We buy rocket boots and a tinkerer's workshop, go back up and make a blue horseshoe balloon and lightning boots, effectively dripping us the living hell out for the future. You see the shoes, you see the money. Drip drop. We need to get some rain boots and an umbrella to handle the torrential downpour coming from our drip. We have become a walking goddamn monsoon. We max out our health, grab our potions and buffs, and sleep the night away in order to summon up the Eater of Worlds immediately. We charge into the underground corruption, blow up the final orb, and immediately begin getting our ass whooped to a point of which we are sweating all over our mouse and keyboard. This ass beating was absolutely nauseating, and if I'm keeping it a buck with every single one of you, there was no way we should have even survived the beginning of this battle. Yet here we are. We rain stars down from the heavens onto the Eater of Worlds' fat, cancerous worm body after being on the absolute brink of being wormed entirely. We are frantic, panicked, and a measly cough or sneeze away from shitting our pants in our gamer chair. Yet we dash and keep on raining stars down to do as much damage as possible to the Eater. We try and fly above the worm in order to avoid as much contact damage as possible, yet keep getting our asses beaten to the point of where our ass cheeks look like hamburger meat. It's an extraordinarily intense battle all the way through, yet we keep slowly chipping away its health and dodging to the best of our ability. One thing to quickly note about this battle is that it is just taking for fucking ever, and we eventually have seemingly 10 million small baby-sized Satan worms gunning for our cheeks relentlessly. We end up getting the Eater to a point in which we lull him by dodging back and forth in a figure 8 pattern, allowing us to dodge his several fell swoops, all directed primarily at our gamer cheeks. As the segments of the worms get smaller and smaller, our confidence in winning this battle increases greatly, and we are able to slowly break each segment one at a time, eventually procuring yet another Epic Gamer Victory Royale against the second boss battle in our playthrough. That was fucking horrifying. Talk about a close call. Nonetheless, we collect all of our delicious worm loot, equip ourselves with our gnarly new worm scarf, which is still sentient and very upset that we murdered him in cold blood, and head back home in order to make ourselves a nightmare pickaxe. Without skipping a beat, we plummet down into the depths of hell where we belong in order to break pots and get cool loot and potions, as well as to get a hell forge so we can craft some delicious warm home-cooked hellstone bars. In order to make these delicious bars, however, we need to jump headfirst into lava to exploit hell of its natural resources, only in the form of an epic gamer mowing session. So we do just that. We mine our little gamer hearts away until we have an ample amount of hellstone to make even more drip with. We head back up, make our Gucci, Prada, Supreme, Balenciaga molten armor, as well as a funky fresh new molten pickaxe, as well as yet another Zenith component, the Volcano, formerly known as the Fiery Greatsword. We quickly reforge it, and you all must know right now, at this very second, that this weapon fucks unbelievably hard. Johnny Sins hard. Ron Jeremy hard. With this being said, we rack our Star Fury for future crafting and head over to the dungeon to take on the Flying Boner, also known as Skeletron. We make an arena right on top of the dungeon consisting of multiple layers of long platforms, giving us ample room to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge his barrage of Skeleton Head and Man Hand attacks. We quickly sleep the day away, then zoom over to the dungeon in order to take on Skeletron. The Volcano makes this an extraordinarily simple matter. We sweep left to right, taking out his bone hands so he can't touch us with them, as only Yoba knows what would entail if he was able to get his hands on you. Certainly much censoring would be needed, and we do not have time for that. So we take out his hands as quickly as possible, keeping their health at the same level so that we're able to crush them in the same fell swoop. Soon enough, it is just Head coming after us. There are very, very few times in my life where I'd run from getting Head, and god damn it, this is without a doubt in my mind one of them. We do the proest of gamer strategies in order to land hits on his tremendous forehead. I call this one the runner and hitter the header with my Volcanoer. Yeah, that's right. We wait until he charges and stay mere pixels away while swinging our Volcano, and despite the fact that we're facing the other way, we are able to soak him in multiple hits per charge. Soon enough, we wither his health down into nothingness and have access to Ultra Turbo Bone Land, aka the dungeon, aka the Fungeon, because we're gonna have to go chest hunting to a bizarre extent. We are after two major components that will aid in our well-being in here. One being the Muramasa, which would be the final component to crafting the Knight's Edge, which is the sword we'll be using to take on the Ball of Flesh, as well as the Ankh Shield, which we will be using to defend ourselves from said Ball of Flesh. We plummet down to the depths of the dungeon, immediately find a dungeon slime who vored a key, take the key and open our first chest, which lo and behold carries the Muramasa. Well, I'll be fucked. I feel our luck disintegrating as we speak. We then go on to find yet another Muramasa. Can't be mad, can't be mad. We can, in fact, be mad at getting our hands on an Aqua Scepter, however, as we don't need it, and we will likely never use it in a million years. A yo-yo. Wonderful. An actual gun with its serial number filed off. Certainly no one placed this here to come for later in order to exact a very specific crime with no repercussions or trace back to them. Thank goodness nobody is going to come looking for us when they inevitably discover we're the one that took it for our own financial gain. Awesome! At long last, a beautiful Cobalt Shield. Life is good now as we have a bone to pick with a boss just before we take on the Ball of Flesh. A bone to pick, or should I say a bee to pick. We take our Muramasa, our Volcano, our Light's Bane, and lastly our Blade of Grass to a Demon Altar in order to make this delicious, exquisite pre-hard mode busting weapon. That's right, we make ourselves the Knight's Edge, which will shred the chocolate starfish of any boss that dare stand in our way. And brother, we have some chocolate starfish to turn into shredded beef. We do a slight bit of reforging, get absolutely and entirely fucked on our reforging, then take it out on a handful of Eyes of Cthulhu in order to win back some cash money moolah that we just lost to the Goblin Cuck. We get moderately fucked on our reforges this time, and being as broke as a joke, we take on King Slime multiple times in order to raise funds for even more reforging. We kill King Slime not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, but 5 times in total. This reduces our total therapy sessions needed from the Flails only playthrough down to a mere 1,387. Not bad at all. King Slime is an extraordinarily healthy punching bag to take out all of your pent-up gamer rage against. We eventually get a decent enough reforge, and in fear of losing every goddamn motherfucking dollar we have again, we just rock with it and charge directly into the underground jungle to fashion an arena for the great Queen P. We summon her up after we finish our arena by telling her hive that urine fetishes are unsanitary and quite disgusting, which truly riles her up. We do a similar approach to King Slime and take her on a myriad of times, all in order to get a very special weapon that we will need to craft the Zenith and end this unholy playthrough. We defeat her over and over and over and over and over and fucking over again before we finally, at long last, get the Beekeeper sword. That was an absolute nightmare. A nightmare beyond belief, as some would say. Oh, come on, you guys didn't like that joke? Don't be like that. Get it? Don't be like that. It's like, it's because the Queen P is actually a beat. That's what makes it a funny. Before I continue any further and ruin my career with how treacherous and awful my puns can be, we quickly move on to the next sword we need to obtain in pre-hard mode. One that haunted us in the beginning of this playthrough. The Enchanted Sword. We will be attempting to get this sword through fishing for crates, but first we make an extraordinarily long platform within the depths of hell to battle the Ball of Flesh on. Hell, where we certainly belong for prolonging the bee puns a short while ago in this video. Instead of being eternally in flames, however, I am building a long row of platforms to run real fast from a giant meat wall. Eventually, with some grit and grind and the assistance of crate potions, we managed to grab ourselves a golden crate. Now this shit's gonna rock your world. On our first attempt, we get ourselves an enchanted sword. I was quite excited, but did not appreciate the caliber of what just happened until I took a look at the wiki, which shows that there is only a 2% chance per golden crate unboxing for this to happen. I am in disbelief. Never again can I bitch, moan, groan, gripe, or complain about luck being an issue for me, as RNGesus just came down from his gamer cloud and blessed our RNG tenfold in order for us to not have to grind for 6 million billion purgatory sentences. Life is good, not only because we've obtained the enchanted sword, but also because we now have nothing left standing between us and the Ball of Flesh. By now you may be asking yourself, why, oh why does Waffle Time keep calling the Wall of Flesh the Ball of Flesh? Well, ladies and fellas of the gamer variant, this is because we are trying to speak us dunking on the Ball of Flesh into existence. Will it work? Will we defeat the Ball of Flesh on the first try like our flails only run? Will we die repeatedly, crushing any chance of us having any confidence to ever speak to the Dryad without stuttering and fumbling over our words, then promptly wetting ourselves before Naruto sprinting home in shame? There's only one way to find out. We charge down our elevator with one goal, to dunk all over the Ball of Flesh, so we summon him up and get to chopping with our Knight's Edge immediately. We are doing a ridiculous amount of damage with this weapon. We've been talking about how much our weapon fucks, but in turn, we get fucked, and not in a fun and exciting way, but by contact damage through the Wall of Flesh, effectively clapping our health in half and leaving us with little to no room for error. Unfortunately for us, my entire life is in error, so we inevitably get beamed out of existence. Just had to touch him, huh? You just had to... God damn it! Our second attempt is going extraordinarily well right until the end, where the Wall of Flesh literally could have stubbed his toe and would have taken enough damage to die. Oh my god! Our third attempt goes much the same. Very promising, very exciting and fun, and then fucking piece of shit, his fucking health. Oh my god! Our fourth, and spoiler alert, final attempt was, for some odd reason, not nearly as ass-clenching as the other failed attempts. We used the same runway, the same strategy, the same armor and accessories, and for some odd reason, don't even make it below half health. This does in fact confirm my theory that Red is able to log into your world and make bosses twice as difficult as they normally would be just for fun. Why take it out on us when you could simply put the Scraggler back in the game? Nonetheless, all absolutely correct and unflawed theories aside, we work the wall's health down slowly but surely, and begin dashing as fast as humanly possible at the last second in order to procure yet another epic gamer victory. We are simultaneously relieved and horrified as we realize there are no real weapon upgrades we can partake in before attempting to take on a mechanical boss. That is stressful to think about, so we do what we do best and bottle it up deep down inside, waiting for an NPC to ask us about it before letting our feelings rapidly resurface and having a massive outburst in public about it, embarrassing not only ourselves but the poor NPC who was just asking a simple question out of curiosity. We immediately charge into the underground corruption in order to smash every single altar possible, get cobalt, mithril, and titanium. Titanium? Tight. We find ourselves in what appears to be a Doom Eternal level filled to the fucking brim with wraiths, then quickly teleport home to begin our epic gamer mowing session on the various hard mode ores that just appeared. We start with cobalt, move to mithril, and lastly mine up all of the titanium we could find in order to eventually make a full set of armor out of it. We use the depths of hell as a quick method of transportation in the deep underground caverns to mine up all the titanium we could find, and after only about 986 hours of mining our delicate asses right off of the bone, we head back up to craft ourselves that delicious gorgeous full set of pure titanium drip, which as you all may know, is canonically made out of thousands of Rolexes, meaning we are not only dripped out beyond measure, but we are also iced down to the bone, Sub-Zero style. We take our newly acquired drip slightly to the right of our home base in order to expand our once renowned Eye of Cthulhu arena into a newly funky fresh mechanical boss arena. We beef up our arena with several platforms and a few campfires for a small amount of passive healing. Yeah, we dropship our campfires for passive healing. This is how to get rich on healing while being lazy and lying in bed all day. Get rich quick, heal quick, drop shipping, NFTs, cryptocurrency, alpha male sigma money subscription. Fucking please. Let's move on before I give myself a disease from saying all of these words in a sequence. We take out whatever emotion we just felt on some innocent pixies in order to harvest their organs for profit. We then make the wyverns an even more endangered species by shredding them down to their last atom for their souls. Mystical, wise beings, yet also great for our wallets and cool clothes. So we tear them to shreds without skipping a beat. Why worry about some stupid animals like a wyvern when we can make cool clothes out of them? What do you mean it's inhumane? Yeah, hello? Money. The only thing that's inhumane about this is the amount of cash our wallets are gonna have to hold after we're done collecting wyvern pelts and making shoes and purses out of them. In another endeavor, not only to get some kick-ass accessories from mimics, but also to get more swag gamer bucks, we begin work on a mob farm. That way we could just sit on our juicy asses and let the money come to us. We start by digging and placing our perimeters, which consist of an internal measurement of 168 length by 99 height. We pass away several times creating a border which enrages me to no end. But god damn it, we have work to do. No time for that pure gamer fury. We finish up our border, die even more, then begin clearing out the bottom section of our farm in order to maximize its efficiency, dying even more in the process. After dying about 600 more times, we clear the bottom entirely and fill it with we fill the bottom with lava, then proceed to make our little AFK station to have the big booty mimics shower their loot all over us. Then go to clear out the top part of the farm as well. We work on our lava pyramid as we're clearing the top section, making the height of the pyramid tall enough to where mobs can't jump out, and filling it with lava so they burn to death. While we're mining, we see that vibrations are being felt from deep below. And considering we haven't invested in a vibrating, oscillating, gok hyper-realistic Pound Town limited edition Plantera themed fleshlight yet, it can only mean one thing. The mechanical cock sleeve destroyer has come up to take our doubloons and worm every single one of our NPCs in cold blood. We teleport up just to see what would happen, and despite us knowing we have no chance of winning just yet, we get surprisingly far in the battle, taking a healthy chunk of his HP out before being mechanically wormed. Anyways, back to the coal mines to die of pneumoconiosis. We finish clearing out the top section of our farm, quickly hook up dart traps to activate mimics that lie dormant, then simply sit back and bask in the delicious loot that's showering over our heads. With these hours of farm creation being compressed into around a minute in this video, it is certainly time to AFK for the most delicious loot. We AFK for a rather long duration of time in the depths of our farm, then go up to make ourselves a Charm of Myths, a Power Glove, as well as a Star Veil. The only thing we're missing is a snapback that says YOLO on it. Maybe even YOLO swag, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We grab all of our potions, sleep until nighttime, then summon up the mechanical worm destroyer to tussle with in battle. We do as best as we can, attempting to dodge his outrageous flurry of lasers to absolutely no avail. It seems as if, despite our preparations, we are still taking every single hit possible from this bastard. We inevitably pass away. RIP Waffle Time 2023 Certified Ass Man. That's right, even through death we are certified ass men beyond belief. Even from beyond the grave, all asses loved, adored, and praised when Certified Ass Crew Waffle Time Inc. is around. Captain Certified Ass Man Waffle Time out. Through pondering about voluptuous cheeks, this gets us thinking, why not bounce ourselves back and forth from the nurse in order to restore our HP? Better yet, why don't we just have an early start on our traditional Moonlord procedure and make ourselves a shitty tiny little flying wooden nurse box? Fucking genius! I'll be waiting on my Nobel Peace Prize for this amazing and groundbreaking discovery. We launch into battle yet again, but this time with a nurse healing box for safe measure. We take the destroyer on head first. Take that any way you want, it's still probably true. Through this battle, I found that traveling along his fat body while attacking, instead of sitting in the same spot, seems to do a slightly heightened amount of damage. We attempt to take out the probes as quickly as possible, as the last thing we want is for those flying anal beads to group up and become unmanageable. We fly to the top to heal out our nurse's new crib every now and again, yet surprisingly enough, we don't have to abuse it too heavily. Through what felt to be 12 hours, we managed to work the destroyer's absolutely fucking obscene amount of health down into nothingness, giving us access to various crafting components, but most importantly, hollowed bars, which gives us the next step in progression in our Zenith journey, that being the Excalibur. We craft that bad boy up and whoa! That's new and sexy and fun. It appears to me that the Excalibur will now be the weapon of choice in taking on the twins and Skeletron Prussy, seeing as we now have a much better weapon than the Knight's Edge. As you can see, the Wacko Mode new overhead sweep of damage we can do with the Excalibur gives us enough reach to slap someone's screaming kid in the bowling alley from 12 lanes away. We AFK underneath a slime statue to get a pocket full of gamer goop, then turn it into a tremendous asphalt bridge to battle the other mechs on. Partway through building, we realize we must take on the Destroyer one more time in order to get that sweet, sweet hollowed armor set. So we do just that. The Excalibur, as expected, absolutely tears the Destroyer several new ones, making him into the world's longest, most flexible clarinet. We get our loot after our inevitable gamer dub, then make ourselves a full set of hollowed armor. Drip drop. I repeat, drip drop. We then do as California would never in a million years do, and actually work on the fucking roads. No 27-year-old potholes on this asphalt bridge. No sir, no ma'am. We sleep the day away until we're ready to summon up the twins. This is one of the battles I have been in great fear of, as it can certainly be seen as slightly uncomfortable taking a knife to a flamethrower fight. Yet here we are, abiding to the laws of the Geneva Convention while everyone else gets to have fun. Anyways, we try and attack Spasmatism first, but have to abuse the living hell out of our nurse healing method in order to make any sort of progress in this battle. Retinazer does not pose as that much of a threat, but things do get quite sticky, so to speak, when Spasmatism has quite enough of our silly antics and busts into his second phase. We are only truly able to hit him whenever he's dashing at us, which does a lot of damage to us, but simultaneously we do a ton of damage to him. Thank God they don't have a similar setup to the setup we have with the nurse. I couldn't imagine getting one of these bad boys down to 100 health and seeing them quickly fly to an optometrist and come back with full health and corrected vision for supreme accuracy. We eventually take out Spasmatism and gun for Retinazer, who is a much simpler eyeball to poke. He dashes, we swing, he shoots lasers, we swing, he mourns the loss of Spasmatism, we swing and point and laugh. Eventually, we take out Retinazer and have one last boss to conquer in Dom before we can move on to the leafy MILF Plantera, and that is going to be Skeletron Prussy. We quickly sleep the day away yet again and charge into battle as night arrives. This felt like a simple matter. That is, until Skeletron Prussy does the one thing we told him he couldn't do, and buzzsaws our nurse in half. Not cool. You don't even understand how not cool that was. Of course it's Prime who gives us an extra bit of trouble, always doing some extra bullshit. I am deadly sick of it, so we attempt to take out his cannon and his laser arm so we don't have to worry too much about ranged damage. Piece of shit. Serves you right. I hope they programmed Skeletron Prime to feel pain and he's feeling his arms being chopped off and exploded. I hope they programmed this metallic spiked dildo head-ass bastard to feel remorse, so he regrets ever crossing us. God damn, I hate Skeletron Prime so much! You could only imagine how tasty and yummy it felt to bludgeon his head until his HP slowly withered down into nothingness. What do we get for taking out all three bosses? That's right, access to MILF Central, Plantera Town, baby. Next stop, MILF Town, all aboard. We quickly charge down to our crafting station, since now that we have all the souls, we can upgrade our cute little Knight's Edge into a true Knight's Edge, which, as you may be able to tell, after the rework, is truly fucking deranged beyond measure. We make a pickaxe axe, reforge our weapon to the dismay of our wallets, sleep the days and nights away in order for more chlorophyte and life fruit to spawn, then without a shred of reluctance dive headfirst into MILF Central, aka the underground jungle. We mine an absolutely obscene amount of chlorophyte, max out our life with the life fruits we collected, then use the bars to make ourselves a true Excalibur. This weapon may not shoot a wacko projectile like its counterpart, however, look at the fucking reach on this bad boy. We'll be using both weapons versus Plantera, I assume, so we reforge our true Excalibur as well to do the max amount of damage. We need to be able to look strong and buffed out in front of Plantera if we want any shot of not being laughed at by her and her MILF friends, so we take every opportunity to power up as much as possible. Speaking of powering up, there's a fantastic set of armor we could get at this point in the game now that we have chlorophyte, and it is Turtle Armor, the Master Roshi Supremo. Instead of grinding out turtle shells in the underground jungle like an absolute buffoon bozo clown, we switch up our AFK mob farm to be an AFK jungle mob farm, making it a jungle biome with the presence of over 140 blocks of jungle grass, not only giving us access to grinding out those turtle shells, but a heightened mob cap as well for a more efficient farm. There is something about increasing levels of efficiency that just gets my rocks off in a way that would make my future wife extraordinarily jealous and upset, resulting in rigorous arguments in front of our children. We AFK for what feels like forever until we have enough turtle shells to make ourselves that sweet Roshi Deluxe full set of turtle armor. We then finish up regrettable, debt-inducing reforging, then head into the underground jungle to expand our Queen P arena into a MILF Plantera arena. arena. We work on expanding the arena vertically. We work on expanding the arena vertically as well as horizontally. And due to popular demand, we make the motherfucking Osagov Tunnel, baby! Oh, I know, it's been quite some time, hasn't it? Many of you must have forgotten, or perhaps never even heard of an Osagov Tunnel before. Well, you little rascals, an Osagov Tunnel, simply put, is our oh shit oh god oh fuck tunnel, where we quickly flee when Plantera begins to get quite handsy with us after having one too many. Welcome back to Waffle Time 101. Long time no see, and stay tuned for Papa Waffle's next life lesson. We explode our way all the way down to the very bottom of the jungle biome just before hell so she doesn't enrage. Decked out with armor, buffs, a solid arena, an Osagov Tunnel of the Ages, as well as some sexy ass weapons. We find Plantera's fabled bulb, which was apparently hanging out in some type of hood, and punch it as hard as we can, beginning the battle against Plantera. We circle around her tremendous, bouncing plant badonkadonk for the first phase, dodging her seeds and spiky balls she throws our way. We use both the True Excalibur as well as the True Knight's Edge, seemingly maximizing our damage output against a leafy MILF. Eventually, she goes into Cougar Drunk mode and goes absolutely insane, charging at us with unreasonable speed and prowess, in fear for our lives, and fighting off slight curiosity in the backs of our heads. We take to our Osagov Tunnel in order to get our heads on straight, and begin firing a barrage of bladed attacks her way. These swords don't give her a single chance to attack us, as we inevitably and ass-clenchingly reach the end of our tunnel and have to quickly switch spots with her. We are now topping Plantera, which is refreshing and fun, yet dangerous beyond measure. Eventually, with the assistance of many sword beams, we uproot Plantera and collect her big bag of spoils. It feels as if it's a moment of truth going to open up Plantera's bag, but lo and behold, on our first try, we get ourselves a Seedler, which is not only a kick-ass weapon from the MILF we love and adore, but also serves as a large component for the Zenith. We are slowly but surely tacking off the swords needed to craft up this game-busting weapon. At this point, all we have left to obtain is the Terra Blade from combining our True Knight's Edge and True Excalibur, the Horseman's Blade, Influx Waver, Star Wrath, and Meowmere. We are getting close, we are being edged, and the next step for the sweet kaboom of a release is absolutely decimating Golem. We race over to the Lizard Temple, and in a typical Waffle Time weapon-specific playthrough structural fashion, realize far too late that the temple resembles that of something that is quite unfavorable. It resembles types of people that I don't think are real simply because it's my only way of coping with the undying rage they fill my brain with. The first layer consists of the "my struggle is worse" category of the cringe lords. You can't say anything around these little fuckers. Come into work and you're feeling a bit sluggish, best to keep your mouth shut, because you want to know what happens if you talk about it? They are quadruple as tired as you've ever been in your whole life. Oh man, I'm pretty tired today. I didn't sleep too well last night. Really? Huh. I didn't even sleep last night. You should be grateful you got any sleep at all. I wish we could trade spots so I could even get a wink of sleep like you. The list goes on. Why are you crying? Man, my grandma passed away last night. I'm just really upset about it right now. You better feel lucky you still have your grandpa. All my grandparents and moms and dads and dogs and brothers and sisters and parakeets and cats and pet fucking tarantulas all died in my arms at once this morning. So yeah, I feel your pain. I just wouldn't want you to feel mine. Shut the fuck up. Please, for all of us. The second layer consists of those twisted psychopaths. Oh, we all know some of these guys. These twisted psychopaths are extra certain to express how absolutely insane and crazy and deranged they are any chance they get. You ever been in a fight before? Yeah, I mean, I got into a fight in high school. It was stupid though, you know, we were both young. Yeah, couldn't be me, bro. I go in for the kill. I break bones, man. I don't even know how it happens either. One second I'm fine and the next second I see red. Bodies hit the floor when I see red, bro. Trust me.
He has never been in a fight in his entire life.
What response could one possibly construct to a bold claim such as this? Oh, cool, man. Anyways, the third layer consists of quite the contrary to our first layer. This is in fact the spontaneous manly man category of the cringe lords. We all know a couple of these guys too. These little shits will be your best pal all day and night long. That is until a lady comes onto the scene. Suddenly, their voice mimics that of a Kirkland brand Morgan Freeman. Want to introduce your girlfriend to the spontaneous manly man? Suddenly, he is funnier than Richard Pryor, is noticeably flexing his arms to look buffed out, let alone revealing every one of your deepest secrets to hopefully get a laugh. All in that cursed, fake deep voice. A lady hops in call to game out with you and the homies. How you doing, man? Great to hear from you again. Yeah, it's great to hear from you too, man. I can't wait for game night tonight. I think Dryad is actually free. I think she's gonna be joining us tonight. Oh, there she is. She just hopped in call.
Hey, long time no see, honestly. I think us two would make a good team against Waffle Time, aka Mr. pulls his pants down all the way at the urinal to take a piss.
Piece of fucking work, I tell you. Piece of goddamn work! The final room, Golem's bedroom, is certainly not the worst of all, but awful nonetheless. Golem, and I regret to tell you all this, but Golem is the ultra public singer category of the cringe lords. We are calmly suffering through our annual happy birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to... When Golem, the ultimate public singer, jumps out to display his skills. Happy birthday Dear Waffle Time, yeah. Ah! Stop! Why? God damn it! We have no choice other than to quickly take out his arms, then go for his lousy singing head to prevent it from humiliating us in public settings any further. We then go directly for his body in order to eventually, with a bit of dodging, take him out entirely. What a relief. We slaughter him one more time just for safe measure since he decided to try and out-sing everyone in the car on a long car ride when the group is peacefully singing regularly to a song on the radio. We don't skip a beat on taking a one-way ticket to Grindtown, quickly making ourselves a drippy-ass set of full beetle armor, making several solar tablets, poaching wyverns for their valuable skin and to wipe that smug goddamn look right off of their faces, making beetle wings, then immediately summoning up a solar eclipse in order to farm out Godzilla's wife. We sit in our little AFK pyramid farm, scratching our nuts and sniffing it, dreaming of a broken hero sword in order to craft up that delicious, scrumptious Terrorblade, neglecting pending taxes and child support payments, doing anything in the world to pass the time until eventually Mothrin spawns in. We take her on up to our asphalt platform in order to chop her up with our Seedler, making short work of her in order to hopefully get ourselves that broken hero sword, which lo and behold drops on our very first Mothrin. We kill another and get ourselves a funky fresh set of Mothrin wings. Both on the same night, mind you. Things are quite too good to be true. Something bad is bound to happen. There it is. We quickly make ourselves a Terrorblade, which is just immaculate beyond any form of measure for two reasons. Number one being that it's the next crucial component in crafting the Zenith, and we're one step closer to being able to craft that bad Mamma Jamma up. Reason number two is that it hits harder than our parents hit us after they're having an argument and we ask them to stop arguing, which if you're lucky enough to not know, is hard as fuck. We sit and wallow in self-pity in our farm before we suffer any more mental anguish. Quickly after our solo pity party, we make one of the most regrettable decisions of my entire life and head to the beach, build up, and wait for a Martian probe to spawn and
Martian probe us
in order to summon up the Martian Madness event. Quite the ritual to have aliens come into your world, but everyone's entitled to their own kinks. We sit in our little pyramid farm yet again, longing for a Martian saucer to spawn in so we could get an influx waiver right before Moonlord, not knowing of the absolute torment these things were about to put us through. At this point in our playthrough, this would be one of the last two swords we have to obtain pre-Moonlord in order to have all the components to make the Zenith. Soon enough, a Martian saucer spawns in, so we hobble on over to our asphalt platform, still moving strangely on account of the TSA rubber glove tier Martian probe expedition we just endured. All of the probing we endured, however, was for absolutely nothing. Wanna know why? Because we get fucking beamed from existence immediately. Great, Blood Moon? Great! Blood Moon! Soon enough, this godforsaken event ends, and we go back to our solo pity party deep in our underground farm. We summon another Martian invasion, wait for 27 years for another Martian saucer to spawn, and it decides, not worth my time. And it just leaves? Where? What? Why? Another spawns in. God! Another spawns in. God damn it! Another spawns in. I can't take this. What am I to do? Feeling that perhaps, just maybe it's time to take a small break from the Martian invasion, we collect ectoplasm to summon up the Pumpkin Moon in order to try for the other sword we need, the Horseman's Blade. We craft up a handful of Pumpkin Moon medallions, sleep the day away, then summon the event up immediately as soon as night falls. This event follows quite literally the same procedure as the solar eclipse and the Martian invasion. We cower in our little pyramid hideout waiting for the big stuff to start spawning. Then as soon as the big dogs are out barking and biting, we pop out to try and do as much damage as possible. Soon enough, a Pumpkin spawns in. While I don't even want to imagine why they call him Pump King, he is precisely what we need in order to grab that badass little Horseman's Blade. We quickly and efficiently handle all of our morning wood by beating it ferociously. No mercy for morning wood here at Waffle Time Incorporated. Our first Pumpkin decides to show his faces, plural. We run back and forth for what seems to be the entirety of the event until we finally take his health down enough to take him out entirely. What does he drop? That's right, you guessed it. Absolutely fucking nothing. Great! I love events. I love events! Soon enough, the event ends and we're left alone with our thoughts. Who knows what sort of wacky things are gonna happen? This is when the thought occurs to me. We are in fact shooting a projectile, and yes, it is coming out rather quickly, but what if we tried to ramp up its speed as much as we could currently? We charge down to our Goblin Tinkerer, throw M&Ms at his bald head with full speed and power, and reforge our accessories to be violent as well as reforge our Terrorblade to be legendary. Yes, we are being constantly pressed by tax and debt collectors, but for now, we are fast enough to avoid them entirely. Just look at that difference. We are spewing out projectiles faster than any romantic comedy movie goes directly into the buy one, get 12 free bargain bin at Walmart. As soon as night falls, yet again we summon up the Pumpkin Moon event, this time absolutely destroying everything. this time destroying almost everything that comes our way. We beat all the Morningwood with malicious intent. Then as soon as Pump King spawns, we yet again charge to our asphalt platform, yet again shoot beams at him while running back and forth, and yet again, get nothing! It's clear how much more damage we're doing to these Halloweeny themed abominations, seeing as we're able to progress the vent in a reasonable amount of time by simply beam blasting at 4,000 miles per hour. I can't believe the World War I German troops would complain about using Terrorblades in trench warfare. This shit is awesome. We see another Pump King cut a suspicious microscopic circle in his head and microwave him to a warm but not hot temperature. Take him into our bedroom for no more than 4 seconds. Then what do we get for all of our hard work? A jack-o'-lantern launcher. Great! Yes! We see another Pump King. We do yet another Pumpkin Moon because we love doing these godless events so much. Kill a bunch of stupid, silly little stupid boneheaded mobs. Get another Pumpkin. Die again. Yes. Yes! We get another, only this time something interesting happens. We die again! Can we be mad when I see a beautiful, beautiful goddamn Sharp the Horseman's blade in a pile of lukewarm pumpkin guts beneath our fresh carcass? I am lost in a disgusting amalgamation of emotions. Do I be angry that we died? Do I be happy that we have the blade? I don't know, but either way, the umpire at my future son's Little League baseball game is going to pay for whatever emotions I'm feeling right now. All in front of the other parents who will look at my family differently for many years to come after the great umpire at-bat incident. It is his fault for calling a strike on my future son's team. The 19 beers I crushed in the parking lot will have nothing to do with it. We quickly grab our blade and die over and over again until this unholy event is finally done. Thank goodness we don't have to worry about silly ass events anymore. Certainly all of my marbles would be lost with no chance of finding them if there was, I don't know, another fucking godless event that we have to endure. God damn it. What is the definition of insanity? Well, many would often misattribute the answer to this question to the late and great Albert Einstein, stating that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. While the definition is often misattributed to Einstein, the real source of this definition was traced back to a mystery novelist, Rita Mae Brown, who in her 1983 book, Sudden Death, stated one of her fictional characters, Jane Fulton, told it to another character in her book named Susan. And even still, many speculate that it seems our mystery novelist Rita Mae Brown may have been paraphrasing it from someone else. It's truly a mystery who may or may not have been the source of this definition of insanity, but I can tell you firsthand that they may just be onto something because I feel like I am going fucking insane trying to take out these goddamn Martian saucers from hell. Holy God, why? Oh, a Xenopopper. A Xenopopper! A laser machine gun. Time to start a new event! Alright, on our first Martian saucer, we got ourselves an influx waiver. No trials and tribulations here. No sir, no ma'am. Those are bottled deep, deep down inside. As a special little quirk we'll release in our mid-40s. We finish up the event, and now that we have every sword we need before grinding out the Moonlord to finish our zenith, we chill out in our farm and collect our thoughts. All we have left at this point is Dick Pisrin for his game-busting mount, the wacky-ass pillars, and finally the Moonlord a handful of times in order to procure the final 2 swords that we need to craft the zenith. With no time to waste, we charge over to the beach and begin mass construction on our tremendous shopping mall, Dick Pisrin Arena. Remember, folks, we don't care about families that have been established at the beach for decades. We don't care about family-owned business or the sanctity of our roads and consumer happiness. We care about the money. We could cram a lot of pricey parking spots and gas stations as well as corporate food chains here. It's about the cash this playthrough, so we naturally ignore all the complaints and keep on building our arena. We spend a mere 38,000 years in mushroom hell in order to catch a worm who vored a pair of Hermes boots and can boost off at unreasonable speeds. We sleep the night away, having constant crippling night terrors resulting in no sleep, resulting in stress, resulting in fatigue, resulting in sleep, resulting in crippling night terrors, resulting in no sleep. Then charge right over and summon Dick Pisrin up. We can see immediately that the Terrorblade is making him as harmful as a mere McDonald's Filet-O-Fish sandwich, which can probably still harm you a bit if you have enough of it, which is weird, but still not as intimidating in the slightest. We pummel our way through his first phase, slicing through his barrage of bubbles and making bitches out of his small, lesser shark barrage. We carry the same energy to his second phase. The fear arises when he goes into his third and final phase and begins teleporting to different McDonald's locations, serving satisfaction to all customers since 1955, and serving us crippling fear for all of 30 seconds. We dodge quite well, and to my surprise we make a fine cut of fish out of the Duke, seasoning him with garlic, lemon pepper, onion powder, and various spices for a kick to our delicious fish dinner. I certainly wish there was more to say about the lunatic cultist other than the fact that we grab him by his big ass nose and make him watch us kiss his mom on the lips. The Terrorblade Blade, without a doubt in my mind, is a goddamn force to be reckoned with when it's ramped up to high speeds. We dodge his attacks, kiss his mom, attack him as much as possible, kiss his mom, then eventually defeat him so we have ample time to kiss his mom. We realize that there's a threat on this earth greater than the lunatic cultist's well-being. The pillars are here, so we waste no time in charging into the vortex pillar, dying, killing it, going to the solar pillar, dying, killing it, going to the nebula pillar, dying, and killing it. In order to prepare further, we hold off on losing our goddamn minds at the pillars any longer, and make sure our nurse is fine with her cushy wooden box setup, reforging our influx waver and expanding our asphalt platform, as we may need to be prepared to fight the Moonlord without the assistance of the speed buff our new mount gets from the rain. Why I can't hawk loogies on the back of our mount's head in order to make him speed up is beyond me. However, we expand the platform more, until randomly, and luckily might I add, it begins to rain. We haul ass over to the Stardust Pillar in order to kill it off and hopefully have enough rain to make ends meet with one of our final battles. We cheese the ever-loving shit out of it, as you rightfully should when facing the Stardust Pillar, and take the pillar out entirely. We quickly collect the fragments and teleport to our home base when the big bad calamari man spawns in, ready to grow legs and stomp on our dying bodies. We retort to this in the best way we can by flying off to one side and abusing the absolute hell out of our Terrorblade and Influx Waver against his various eyeballs. We can look at the Moonlord and see that through the updates he has in fact become a gym bro. Look at the biceps, look at the shoulders, look at the tricep development. He has it all. We do what we do best and try to assassinate his character, livelihood, and what he loves doing, all by hiring someone to yell at him at the gym for unracking weights too loudly. When we lower the health of his various eyeballs, we see we need to take it a step further, as the deadlifting police treatment had no effect, so we instead have someone go to his gym and record videos of themselves in really inconvenient spots, and verbally berate him for walking in the background of the video on accident, since, you know, everyone in this public gym should abide to this one person's stupid workout video. It's not like everyone's trying to stay in good shape and get a lift in or anything. This pesters the Moonlord in a way like we've never seen. He gets so infuriated that eventually all three of his eyeballs pop out. We have nothing left to do but target his heart, so we go for the kill. We become gym bros with him, get on his schedule, then spontaneously start going to the gym with someone else without letting him know. Eventually, with some grit, grind, ultimate teleportation coward healing from the nurse, and some expert pro gamer tier dodging, we have him on his last leg. We have him on his last arm, I guess. We swing our influx waver as hard and as fast as possible, trying to soak his heart in as much damage as we can, when eventually we destroy the Moonlord entirely. We bask in our rewards, however we don't quite begin building a Luminite totem and talk about the torment and anguish of this playthrough quite yet, as we still have much work to do. We need to make the Zenith, so our work may be far from over. We open our first bag, and thank fuck we get ourselves a Meowmere on the first attempt. Now not only do we have a weapon that's going to toss the salads of every pillar or enemy that comes our way, we have now narrowed our sword collection down to only needing one final sword to craft up the Zenith and complete this playthrough once and for all. It's a bittersweet feeling, shooting exploding cats all over the grid, but still having much to do after our beloved final boss was conquered and domed by yours truly. We craft up all of the Luminite bars we can, then make ourselves another Celestial Sigil in order to battle the Moonlord yet again. Will this be a grind? Will we clamp the Moonlord's non-existent cheeks efficiently enough with the Meowmere? Many questions keep on arising, but there is truly only one way to find out. We grab our potion, sleep until it rains, and summon up the Moonlord yet again with no time for pillow talk between these hour-long rounds. We do the same procedure as last time, flying back and forth, to and fro, and trying to take out all of his various eyeballs in a healthy amount of time, all at the same time preferably. The Meowmere gives us a lovely ASMR of constant high-pitched meowing and explosions, but also gives the Moonlord the titty slapping he deserves, as we get the eyes out of the sockets rather quickly with our beloved Meowmere. Eventually, yet again, we expose his heart and tell him that a goth dryad will never put tall boots on and stomp on his balls, since he doesn't even have any, which wholly and entirely shatters his heart beyond any measure. We eventually wither his heart down into nothingness and watch as this buffoon spontaneously combusts in front of us yet again. We get his bag, and with a feeling of existential dread and hesitance, we open it and see that only on our second attempt we managed to bag ourselves a Star Wrath. It truly takes a moment to hit me, but as of this moment, we have every single component necessary to craft the Zenith. Holy shit. We gather every last one of the swords we need: the Copper Short Sword, Star Fury, Beekeeper, Enchanted Sword, Muramasa, Terrorblade, our Sharp the Horseman's Blade, Seedler, Influx Waver, Meowmere, and our beloved Star Wrath. It is the moment of truth. We open up our crafting bench and craft up the world-renowned, fabled Zenith we've been working so hard to get this entire time. Truly and honestly, I could end the video here and tell you all to have a nice day, but why would we stop now? We use our components to make a full set of solar armor. With this, we are outrageously, redundantly overpowered overpowered and we can compensate for any physical shortcomings on our bodies. We decide to pay a visit to the lunatic cultist to kiss his mom on the lips yet again, and boy does it feel amazing. Just look at that damage. Not to mention the pillars are a complete joke. We fly carefree through the vortex pillar, chopping it up and moving on to the next. This right here is how you no-hit the solar pillar. It's not even hard. I don't know what everyone's complaining about. Just get good at the game like me right now. Stardust pillar? More like, I don't know, something. More like the get killed by the Zenith pillar. Got him. We finally pay the Nebula pillar a visit and take the ultimate satisfaction in chopping it up into several pieces, eating said pieces, voiding our bowels of them, then taking on the Moonlord immediately. It should go without saying that the Moonlord gets his salad tossed to a caliber the world has never seen with our current setup. The Zenith completely and entirely shreds him with absolutely no hesitance in its mind, and god damn it, I love it. Do we love it because of its power though? Or do we love it extra because we fucking earned it? Both of these ideas mold into one, and I love every single second of it. Moonlord down, quirked up Terraria player with the saw seen dancing above his grave. The world is shocked. The world cheers. Right now you may be saying, Waffle Time, you did it, just end the video already. And to that I agree to an extent. However, I want to tie up one more loose end before we wrap up this video. You're probably wondering why I'm running around in the Surface Hollow, seemingly aimlessly. However, I must tell you that is for a very specific purpose. We're here for these bugs. Hello, Empress. And goodbye comments about defeating the Empress of Light. Even the strongest of bosses can get topped by this ultimate setup and this game-busting weapon, and boy does it feel amazing to have in our hands. We slay the Empress of Light with extraordinary ease. See, I told you guys this fight was just too easy. That's why I cower from it in every other playthrough. Just because it's so easy, and I wouldn't want to bore you guys with how easy and not absolutely fucking petrifying it is. With all of that being said and done, the world is now ours. The power is in our hands. The Zenith has been crafted. The bosses have been defeated. I think it is absolutely safe and entirely within reason to say we have successfully completed this Zenith Components Only challenge in today's video. If there's one thing I learned, it's that maybe the Copper Short Sword isn't so bad after all. True underdog story for the Copper Short Sword. The new buffs and mechanical changes to the swords in the Labor of Love update have been revolutionary. This video did take a hefty amount of time to make, so if you'd like to show your support, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more content like this, as well as comment down in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts on this video. Thank you all so much again for watching, and I'll be seeing you all next time. Waffle Time Zenith Mode Sword Master out.